The open road. It's a symbol of freedom, a chance to escape. Windows down, music up, the world in your rearview mirror. But out there, in the vast stretches of asphalt and flickering streetlights, lurks a different kind of freedom. The freedom to disappear. To vanish without a trace. These are 3 true stories from the dark side of the highway, where the line between adventure and nightmare blurs with every passing mile. Stories that prove the open road can sometimes lead you to a place far more terrifying than you could ever imagine. So buckle up, kill your high beams, and hold on tight. Because tonight, we're venturing deep into the heart of road trip horror. Our first story takes us to the desolate highways of Nevada, where a young man named Lucas found out the hard way that some roads are better left untraveled. Picture this. A moonless night, the only sound the hum of tires on asphalt. Lucas, exhausted after a long day of driving, is desperate for a break. He pulls off at a lonely exit, exit 42, marked only by a flickering neon sign for a gas station that looks like it hasn't seen a customer in decades. As Lucas pulls up to the pump, he notices her. A woman standing at the edge of the gas station's light, shrouded in shadow. Her clothes are torn, her hair matted, and she's staring directly at Lucas with an intensity that sends chills down his spine. He tries to ignore her, telling himself she's just a hitchhiker down on her luck. But something about her gaze, something wild and desperate in her eyes, makes him uneasy. He fills his tank quickly, his heart pounding in his chest, and avoids making eye contact. As Lucas pulls away, he glances in his rearview mirror and sees the woman is gone. Vanished. He breathes a sigh of relief, attributing his unease to exhaustion. But the encounter lingers in his mind, a seed of doubt planted in the back of his mind. Miles down the road, Lucas pulls into a brightly lit truck stop, desperate to shake off the unsettling feeling from the deserted gas station. As he walks into the bustling diner, he notices the cashier, a grizzled old man with eyes that have seen too much, staring at him intently. Mustering his courage, Lucas recounts his experience at exit 42, describing the strange woman and the overwhelming feeling of dread. The cashier listens intently, his face grim, and when Lucas finishes his story, the old man leans in close. "Son," he says, his voice barely a whisper, "you're lucky to be alive. That exit 42, it ain't safe. People disappear out there. They say she wanders those roads looking for lost souls." Lucas, shaken by the cashier's words, tries to dismiss it as local folklore, but the memory of the woman's intense gaze sends a shiver down his spine. He thanks the cashier and leaves, eager to put as much distance between himself and exit 42 as possible, but it's too late. As Lucas drives, the hair on the back of his neck stands on end. He feels a presence in the car, a coldness that wasn't there before. He glances nervously in his rearview mirror and sees her, the woman. She's sitting in the back seat, her face inches from his, her eyes burning with a terrifying intensity. Lucas screams, slamming on the brakes, but the car skids off the road, flipping over and over before coming to a stop in a ditch. Lucas was never seen alive again. Some say that if you drive down that lonely stretch of Nevada highway, you might still see a lone figure standing by the side of the road at exit 42, a woman with wild eyes and a desperate plea for help on her lips. But be warned, if you see her, don't stop. You might just be the next lost soul she claims. Our next story takes us to the winding back roads of Maine, where a young woman named Chelsea learned that even the most ordinary places can harbor extraordinary terror. Imagine a thick fog rolling in, swallowing the highway in an eerie silence. Chelsea, driving alone on a cross-country trip, is starting to feel the strain of the long drive. Her eyelids are heavy, her mind drifting, and she decides to pull over at the next rest stop to catch a few hours of sleep. The rest stop is deserted, shrouded in an unsettling silence broken only by the rhythmic dripping of a leaky faucet in the bathroom. Chelsea hesitates, a primal fear tingling in her gut, but her exhaustion outweighs her unease. She pulls into a dimly lit corner of the parking lot and locks the car doors, hoping to steal a few hours of rest. But sleep wouldn't come. As Chelsea lay in the driver's seat, her mind racing with every creak and groan of the old car, she hears it, a faint tapping sound coming from the trunk. At first, she dismisses it as her imagination, but the tapping persists, growing louder, more insistent. Fear claws at the edges of Chelsea's mind. She tells herself it's just the wind, a loose branch, anything but what her gut is telling her it is. But deep down, she knows. Something is wrong. As the tapping grows more frantic, it's joined by another sound, a low guttural whisper, coming from just outside her car window. Chelsea squeezes her eyes shut, her heart pounding against her ribs, praying that whatever is out there will just go away. But the whispers grow louder, more insistent, morphing into a chilling chant that seems to seep into Chelsea's very bones. She can't make out the words, but the tone is unmistakable. Pure, unadulterated malice. That's when Chelsea decides she's had enough. Mustering every ounce of courage, she throws the car into drive and slams her foot on the gas, the engine roaring to life in the stillness of the night. She catches a glimpse of a figure in her rearview mirror as she speeds away, a tall, shadowy form with impossibly long limbs. Chelsea doesn't stop driving until the sun begins to rise, the first rays of dawn chasing away the horrors of the night. She pulls into a crowded gas station, her body trembling with adrenaline and terror, and calls the police. The officer who arrives listens patiently to Chelsea's story, his expression skeptical but kind. He assures her that he'll check out the rest stop, but warns her that there have been reports of pranksters targeting travelers in the area. Chelsea wants to believe him. She desperately needs to believe him. But as she continues her journey, a news report on the radio sends a chill down her spine. The announcer's voice is grave as he reports a gruesome discovery at a rest stop off Route 1A. A young woman's body was found in the trunk of her car. Our final story takes us deep into the heart of Appalachia, where a young couple on a romantic getaway stumbled into a nightmare they couldn't outrun. So just imagine, dense forest pressing in on either side of the road, the GPS signal flickering in and out. Brandon and his girlfriend Emily are driving through West Virginia, eager to escape the city and spend a long weekend hiking and exploring the scenic countryside. But as dusk settles in, they realize they've made a terrible mistake. Their GPS, confused by the winding mountain roads, has led them astray. They're lost, hopelessly lost, in a labyrinth of unfamiliar roads with no cell service and dwindling daylight. Just when their situation seems hopeless, they spot a flicker of light through the trees. A lone gas station, seemingly untouched by time, sits at the end of a gravel driveway. It looks like something out of a horror movie, but with night approaching and their options dwindling, Brandon and Emily decide to risk it. As they pull up to the gas station, a wave of unease washes over them. The building is dilapidated, its windows boarded up, and the only light comes from a single flickering bulb above the entrance. And then they see it. A car, parked at the edge of the woods, its paint peeling and its windows covered in what appears to be dolls. Dozens of them, their lifeless eyes staring out from the darkness. Brandon tries to rationalize it, telling himself it's just some eccentric local's idea of decoration, but the sight sends a shiver down his spine. Before Brandon can convince Emily to leave, the gas station door creaks open, and a figure emerges from the shadows. It's an old man, his face hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat, and he's holding something in his hand, something that gleams menacingly in the dim light, a machete. The old man doesn't speak, but his eyes, cold and calculating, are enough to send Brandon and Emily scrambling back into their car. They peel out of the gas station, the crunch of gravel under their tires deafening in the stillness of the night. As they drive, fear gnawing at their sanity, they catch glimpses of the old man in their rearview mirror, his silhouette illuminated by the headlights of passing cars. He seems to be following them, always keeping a steady distance, his presence a constant, terrifying reminder of their encounter. They finally manage to shake off their pursuer, or at least they think they do. After what feels like an eternity, they find their way back to the main road and eventually to civilization. They try to forget about their experience, to dismiss it as a bizarre encounter with a strange local. But their nightmare isn't over. Weeks later, back in their city apartment, Brandon and Emily are unpacking boxes after their move. As Brandon lifts a box from their car, he freezes. Taped to the bottom of the box is a single porcelain doll. Its eyes are wide with a silent, knowing terror. The dolls continue to appear, always in unexpected places, tucked away in drawers, perched on shelves, staring out at them from the darkness. Each time they find one, the memory of that night in West Virginia comes flooding back, a chilling reminder that some roads are better left untraveled. The highway whispers tales of freedom and adventure, but beneath its seductive hum lies a darker truth. Out there, in the vast emptiness between destinations, anything can happen. Highways stretch for miles. But out there, in the dark, in the forgotten places, are things no GPS can warn you about. So the next time you hit the road, check your mirrors, and don't stop for anyone. Subscribe to Unhinged Nightmares for terrifying true stories every night. And remember, Some roads were never meant to be traveled.